Welcome to another episode of SADDERDAYS. Today, I'm going to talk to you about sleep paralysis. But first, I'd like to mention that this video is dedicated to LuciaAndCC, who recommended that I make a video about this topic.
It felt as if there was a male presence there who was evil.
I can remember seeing this figure in the doorway. I just knew it was female.
It hits me so hard at times where it knocks me off my mattress.
It's just choking me so hard that I think that my voice box is going to collapse.
Sleep paralysis is a feeling of being conscious. Your eyes are open, but you're unable to move. It occurs when a person passes between stages of wakefulness and sleep. During these transitions, you may be unable to move or speak for a few seconds or a few minutes. Some people may also feel pressure or a sense of choking. It usually happens when you barely wake or when you're falling asleep. To put it simply, your brain woke up, but your body hasn't caught up yet. Terrifying, I know. Sleep paralysis tends to appear in teen years. It then occurs most often when you are in your 20s and 30s. It may continue into later years. It affects 7.6% of the general population, but 28% of students, according to a study in 2011. Another study, however, published in 2001, concluded that nearly 40% of people who responded to the survey said that they'd experienced sleep paralysis at least once. It's said to affect teens and young adults more frequently, and is more common among women and African Americans. Sleep paralysis is not associated with or considered to be a mental health disorder in and of itself. Sleep paralysis also isn't new. It's actually been around for a very long time. There are descriptions of sleep paralysis throughout history from different cultures throughout the world. There's a painting from 1781 by a French artist named Henri Fuseli called The Nightmare, which depicts a demon sitting on the chest of a sleeping woman, perhaps the most famous historic example of a sleep paralysis depiction. 17th century Dutch physician recorded a case report of a patient's symptoms that describes episodes of sleep paralysis, suggesting physicians have known about this condition for hundreds of years. Different cultures around the world have also come up with fables and tales that explain what happens during an episode of sleep paralysis. In all cultures, even modern times, there are dozens and dozens of different words for sleep paralysis and different interpretations from different cultures. But again, when you look at the actual descriptions, it's clearly the same. On top of that, there are many people who hallucinate during these sleep paralysis episodes. Sometimes the hallucination is a specific image that you can see. Other times it's a vague sense that someone or something is in the room with you. Others have an intense feeling of being near death. Some people have an intense crushing feeling on their chest.
As soon as I become aware that there's someone in the room, I'll go into a paralysis, and I can't move, I can't shout out, I'm unable to call for help, and I'm unable to stop any kind of attack. Usually it's an attack. You can't move, you can't scream. Feels like you've been drugged somehow. The Shadow Man, and this is just a recent label that I've put on this character. The closest I've seen of him is the arm, because it's been around my throat several times.
Nearly 4 million Americans claim to have been abducted by aliens. In recent years, there has been a huge increase in number of people who insist they have been kidnapped by alien creatures from outer space, perhaps suggested to medical experiments and then released again. These claims have been a bit of a scientific puzzle because they strike most people as utterly wacky, and yet they're relatively widespread. Surprisingly, one study found that these people were no more fantasy-prone than the general population and had a slightly higher intelligence. There have been many correlations between people with sleep paralysis and those who claim to have been abducted by aliens. If you think these people are quote-unquote crazy, and they're confusing a sleep condition with a fantasy alien abduction, well, here's food for thought. What if aliens are just that clever? What if they conduct their abductions and use sleep paralysis to cover up their tracks? Aliens are said to be far more intelligent than us, and may be clever enough to use sleep paralysis in their kidnappings. If all that isn't creepy enough, well, listen to this. People from all over the world, from different cultures and backgrounds, who've never met or been in contact with one another, claim to have all been visited by the same woman. She's called the Old Hag. She is said to enter the room, walk towards you, sit on your chest and hold you down. She applies pressure and paralyzes you. She has white, messy hair and black eyes. There are thousands of accounts where people claim to have been visited by this woman. I don't know about you, but the fact that so many people share the same quote-unquote hallucination is pretty darn eerie. Even people from remote areas of the world where there's no media influence, people in tribal areas claim to have been visited by the Old Hag.
Come on now. And I went, oh God, I'm trying to talk, nobody can hear me. I'm trying to move, couldn't move. Next thing I know, about somebody in the room saying, oh my God, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? And we had, that lady, that's the hag. That's the hag.
And when I saw this old hag-looking woman in the corner of my room, I had not heard any stories about the old hag syndrome yet. The internet was not really what it is today at the time. So there really wasn't a lot of information. So the fact that I was experiencing this and later on, years later, found out that a lot of people have had this exact same experience and seen this exact same type of entity is just, it's just terrifying.
And I'm a guy that sleeps on his tummy, so, but that didn't matter with the old hag or the demon, whatever. It would happen to me anyway. I would always sleep on my belly, and it didn't matter. It would get on top of me. I never saw it, but I did hear it, in a wakeful state, mind you. And sure enough, it would happen quite frequently, and you know, it was very scary. You feel something heavy on top of you. You can barely breathe. It's like that. Like you barely make it. You're afraid you're gonna suffocate.
It was her face, and when that happened, my body locked. My body locked, and my body started turning. Like it started. I'm so scared. I'm telling a story, and I'm home alone. Okay. My body started rocking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm paralyzed. I can't do that. And as that happened, I felt like this heat. Dude, I'm so scared right now. I felt a heat going up and down, head to toe, head to toe, head to toe. And I was so scared. I did not open my eyes. I did not want to open my eyes. I don't know how long this went on for. It probably was for like a minute, but I was scared shitless.
So is sleep paralysis just a brain glitch or something more? I'm really curious to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments below. And as always, just please remember to like this video if you like this video, and I'll see you next Saturday.